This press conference is titled Ministerial Press Briefing by the Tinubu Administration, a laudable, timely, and strategic national engagement program by the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, being the text of a press conference by a coalition of civil society groups on transparency and accountability on February 15, 2024 in Abuja. Coalition of Civil Society Groups on Transparency and Accountability is an alignment of civil society groups with shared objectives of promoting transparency, accountability, decency, and hygiene in the public space. At this critical time, the coalition uses the tool of calling public officers and offices to account to promote national stability and stem all forms of undue anxiety and tension. The group is led by Empowerment for Unemployed Youth Initiative. Other members of the coalition are Guardians of Democracy and Development Initiative, Rising Up for a United Nigeria, Public Accountability Watch, Partners for Legislative Agenda in Nigeria, Center for Social Hygiene, Anti-Graft and Social Rebate Network, Nigerian Youth Advocacy for Good Governance Initiative, and these groups are here represented. We have been worried about the rising national tension arising from high food inflation and the consequent skyrocketing food prices and a general high cost of living. We have undertaken our independent study and review of the situation, including convoking a national civil society roundtable to discuss the national economy with particular reference to the economic reforms of the Tinubu administration. And we had in that program, which was held between January 31st and February 1, 2024 here in Abuja, noted that indeed there is pervading hardship, but also lauded the reforms which, if handled with honesty and dexterously, will transform the economy. Our position was contained in a communique which has since been published in most national dailies. Most of you are aware that we released our communique encouraging Nigerians, noting the problem, encouraging Nigeria, and that is why this press conference is important, because we believe that providing Nigerians with the important information from government will also help in calming things down. While we have noted the various efforts of the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris Malagi, to keep Nigerians informed in the most honest and decent way, his particular decision to come up with this ministerial press briefing is most suited and fitting for this moment, which it appears there is a silent crisis. We therefore commend him and his ministry very sincerely for the initiative. Nigerians need information to navigate this period, even if it is just to keep their hopes alive. And indeed, this is what the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation has achieved by inaugurating this ministerial press briefing. Yesterday, therefore, marked an important epoch in critical engagement and information dissemination as far as the President Bola Tinubu administration is concerned. And that importance was underscored by the sheer number of global media organizations and personalities that were present at that briefing yesterday, including editors, bureau chiefs, and senior reporters. Of course, on the government side of the dignitaries, which included the special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononoga, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Information and National Orientation, all heads of agencies of the Ministry of Information and directors. It is well understood. The strategic importance of the program is well understood by the government itself. The inaugural briefing, which featured the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON, was scintillating and very engaging as programs, policies, and ideas met with media scrutiny. If you were there yesterday, you will know that the interaction was deep. It is not those kind of briefings that you just one of. The engagement was very, very deep. One thing very remarkable is that the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, apart from giving out very important interrogatable information, also received very important feedbacks, which will in no mean measure reshape the strategies of the ministry as it works out its plans out of the food security crisis. We were also informed that tomorrow, the Friday, February 16, 2024, the ministerial press briefing will feature the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, certainly featuring 2 ministers in the inaugural week of the program, and within a space of 2 days emphasizes the significance of the ministerial briefing at a period which we must admit is an unusual one in the life of our country. The good thing is that no minister will offer any excuse why they will not face the media and Nigerians to give account of their activities. If they like, let them come and lie. We will follow them up on those lies. We know that there are ministers and ministries that have nothing new to show, and those ones constitute a clog in the wheel of our national development. We shall call them out at the appropriate time. There shall be no space for ineptitude and unproductivity, especially at a time Nigerians need all they can get from the government. No doubt, the outcomes of this ministerial briefing will form talking points and subjects of policy reviews and analysis. The feedback will certainly reveal the reality of the programs, policies and projects, and citizens' perceptions about them. Once again, the ministerial press briefing, which has now commenced in earnest, is commendable, it is laudable, and most handy. We sincerely congratulate the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation and his team, and indeed the entire Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. We are excited that the information gap which may have existed is being addressed by this program. This is surely the right way to go, especially for an information minister who places a high premium on honesty in communicating government activities. Therefore, in order not to misrepresent any issue, it is important that ministers directly involved take this platform and engage directly with the public through the media. Again, this is important in an era of gross deficit in trust between government and citizens. The Ministry of Information and National Orientation is succeeding in winning back the confidence of citizens in the information given by government on any matter. Coming from our most recent experience, this is very important. You know, we got to a stage where even when government is saying the truth, the perception is a lie because of the plethora of lies that were being dished. And I think that the decision of this minister to, continue to communicate to Nigerians in very decent, verifiable way, if sustained, will be very, very important in making the citizens trust government. We shall follow up on this program as it proceeds. We shall interrogate the information we receive, and we will do our best to use the civil society platform to review the information as they come and engage the various ministries as the needs may arise. So far, so good. With the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, and indeed the federal government, we wish the Ministry of Information and National Orientation and indeed the federal government all the best. There will be no undue confrontation except where there is a need for it. We will do our best always to promote what is right, criticize what is wrong. That is how to make our country work. Thank you very much. My name is... Our position, first of all, is that irrespective of what is happening in Nigeria, information is very, very important in what the government is doing. There had been a lot of information gap that cause some misrepresentation of facts. And we believe that this reintroduction, as you call it, is very important, it's strategic in communication, and it's very, very important. It doesn't mean that because they have said these things, we should go and sleep. That's why you look at our statement, we say we'll follow up on them. The important thing is that the correct information is there for people to follow up and see what government is doing. It is an engaging government that will bring the best. About opposition, the job of opposition is to oppose, and it's their right. We have noted that things are difficult in the country. We have noted it. The government know. They have used their mouth to say things are difficult. But they say they have plans on how to put through. And it is putting the information and the policies about how they are going to put through that it is important to Nigerians. And if you were there yesterday when the Minister for Agriculture finished, they interrogated him. How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this? And those media houses are there. They were happy that this information are there. They won't go and sleep, just like the civil society are not going to sleep on it. It means that in subsequent engagement with the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security in particular, who has started yesterday, those things he said will now be talking point. When you brief Nigeria, you say so and so. So how many weeks has passed? What is there? So that's important. So at least people are before the public. It was worse if we didn't even know where they are going. And then these are the things that lead to speculation, fake news, and may inflame the country. That's why we are happy about the information being given.
Gentlemen of the press, I think the core essence, just like my colleague has stated, is to focus on the trajectory of the country. What we have seen,
fit to call on this important press conference today, 15th February 14th. Because 15th. Yeah. Yeah. February 15th. So we saw something magnificent yesterday from the Office of Minister of Information by organizing a ministerial press briefing, urging all his fellow ministers to be briefing Nigeria, the journey so far, where we are and where we ought to be and where we will be in the nearest future. So on this note, I will call on Comrade Igwe Ude-Umanta to take on the press statement.
All right.
Avenue to pat the government on the back, but it is an avenue to open the government up to where it is functioning right and where it is not also getting it right. And this is why we are saying the step by the Honorable Minister of Information is a right step in the right direction and at the right time. We have seen other administrations come and go. Such initiatives are taken either midway into the administration or at the twilight of the administration, where citizens cannot engage actively. So what we are going to have now is a platform where civil society organizations will have a monitoring mechanism to see what the ministries are doing per time. You might recall that the president has a policy coordination unit headed by Special Advisor Adizabala Osman. And a message was passed to these ministers that sit up or leave. So what has happened with the step taken by the Ministry of Information is to give teeth, fillip, and bite to what the president has said. Now it behoves on all of us, civil society organizations, citizens of our country, to say, oh, at this point, this is what this minister has said, just like was read in the press text. We will eviscerate, open up everything. Are we getting it right or wrong? And if we are not getting it right, we will still speak up. So this is a mechanism to put the government on track. This is a mechanism to monitor the development indices. And also, this is a mechanism to ensure that the cries that we are getting today, people are, prominent Nigerians have said, oh, We are sitting on a keg of gunpowder and different words used to describe the situation on ground. But this is a mechanism to avert any looming danger, so that any minister that is a clog in the wheel of progress will be pointed out to Mr. President, and that minister will be isolated so that the system can function efficiently. The Minister of Information and National Orientation has stated in clear terms that what should be dished out to Nigerians is facts, and that is what he's doing. And that is why the civil society organizations commend this step. We are having you as our partners, and as this journey begins, because this is not just a press conference to laud or applaud the administration. This is also telling you that we are opening the gates of a partnership to monitor what is happening in Nigeria, to redirect Nigeria again on the right path of growth and renewed hope. Thank you.
Whether my friend will come in. But let me just say this straight, Mr. Momoh. First of all, it's good that it is very important that this is a press conference, and you know there is this inseparable relationship between the civil society and the media, and so you know that there's no way civil society will comment on everything, and it will even be uncharitable for us to go and begin to condemn Niger State government when we are not engaged with him. Niger State government is elected to be governor in Niger, and he has a right to take measures to defend. This is a time of crisis. He has to put Niger first. I'm from Ebonyi State, for instance. If my governor sees what we, first of all, defend Ebonyi before Nigerians, I do not see why anybody should interrogate him. And if you do, if you condemn him, I will also answer you. That is it. So we don't want to dabble into that. It is a policy that you may not like, but it is good for the people of Niger State. That's my opinion about that.